How critical is a unified ASEAN approach in our tariff negotiations with the US? And how can Malaysia engage our neighbours in facing this mammoth challenge? Earlier today, Taylor's University launches its Distinguished Diplomat series with a dialogue on Malaysia-Singapore relations. For a snapshot of the conversation there, our correspondent Lauren Tan speaks to former Malaysian Ambassador Datuk Dr. Ilango Karuppannan.
Today we're here at Taylor's Lakeside campus for Taylor's Distinguished Diplomat series. Joining here with us is Datuk Dr. Ilango Karuppannan. Dr. Ilango is a former Malaysian ambassador and currently an adjunct professor in Taylor's University. Dr. Ilango, how vital is a unified ASEAN country approach to resolving the issues of tariffs to each of the member countries?
Thank you very much. I think you chose a very important word, unified approach. Well, insofar as the tariffs are concerned, you all know that the tariffs are of different levels, right? So obviously you cannot have a common approach. But unified approach means that the 10 countries can agree to deal with the US on explaining the positions of how the tariffs hurt bilateral relations between America and Southeast Asia. So a unified approach would allow us to explain to the Americans that ASEAN is important to them. So therefore, our collective voice in would conveying the concerns of the member countries that these tariffs should be looked in a bigger context rather than very micro, let's say trade perspective alone. So I agree with your term, unified, in the sense that we must be collective in that sense. But as far as the tariffs per se, that has to be dealt with bilaterally, individually, but collectively having the big message across.
Thank you so much. And given the strategic importance of both Malaysia and Singapore in ASEAN, how can the two nations collaborate more effectively in shaping regional responses to global challenges like climate change or technological disruption?
Well, Malaysia and Singapore have led the way in many areas as two countries which have been actually at the forefront in terms of coming up with solutions. Now that we have just heard about this new thing that we are looking at, the Johor-Singapore Special Economic Zone. Sorry, I'm touching on a little bit on the economic side, but the point I want to emphasize is that these two countries have been sort of forerunners in showing that countries can take an integrated approach. Now, you brought specific examples of climate change and technological disruptions. These are very big issues. Actually, climate change is a huge problem. It does not only involve Malaysia and Singapore, but we can collectively pass the message that we, all of ASEAN, plus our neighbors around ASEAN have to play a role in terms of what we call environment. But technological disruption, I think Malaysia and Singapore, are among the two countries which have very high levels of technology adoption. I'm not sure exactly because I'm not a technologist myself per se, right? But I think we can show the way that two countries can look and work together and come up with creative ideas to address a problem. Like the ambassador mentioned just now, creative solutions is what we are all known for, and I think that's where our strength lies. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ilango. That's all we have for today. I'm Lauren Tan, and back to you at the studios.